So the guy comes into my office and he starts this whole routine, like him and his little three-piece ensemble here. So, he makes it through about like a 5-minute performance, and I tell him, that's really good, you've got a great sound. I think you should market it to deaf people.
Wait. Well, hold on. Do you hear something?
What?
Why does it sound like boss music?
Wait, is that? Uh-oh.
Jet? It's the Tanuki!
We're
Run!
gonna market this towards.
We're gonna market it towards the audience, because that's what we do.
Perfect.
Best boss themes. What an intro. A little more structured than we've been in a while, so that's better. Anyway, yes, we're back once again. Hello, happy November. Right after one holiday, right before the next one. I hope everyone is enjoying their holidays so far. At the time of recording, we're in the middle of November, so we're actually before the holidays, but after Halloween, so, whatever. Anyway.
Today actually marks the 14th anniversary of Skyrim's release.
Introductions. First, we have... I was going to say Boss Barma, but we kind of did that with the whole Mafia thing. Anyway, it's Barma.
Big Pharma.
Cat is back.
With a brand new track, and I don't mean rap, anyways.
You had something going there for a half second. Staple from the beginning.
Overlord Fexick.
And Yeti.
Hello.
He's just Yeti.
I am the Yeti. The Mini Yeti, in fact.
And now that awkward introduction is done, once again I'll say I will next time write something, and I probably won't. As we all know.
Well, you know yourself.
Yes. So, Barma, let's get going. You start us off with the first boss theme.
Alright, yeah. As my first pick, let's start with something that everyone here should know of, I at least hope so. It's gonna be Anne's theme, that is Natural Harmonious Copious from Pokemon Black and White. I assume everyone knows what Pokemon is, so let's cut to that.
Take the next step in treating your moderate to severe ulcerative colitis with Entyvio, the only
games. They focus especially on the conflict of truth and ideals. Depending on the game you play, you are supposed to be the champion of one of these, and Anne will be the other one. Anne has two teams in the games, and they are his normal encounters in all the other fights and the final fight. The final fight has a different one, and that is what I chose. Because it is meant to be the more grander one, it's technically the champion battle as well. And it feels like the true clash of ideals, at least team-wise. I believe that team does that grander scale and the battle of ideals really well. You can feel the stakes in that fight. And at least I felt it as a kid who didn't understand that much English at the time. It also helps that you in a normal playthrough will start that fight with a legendary versus legendary. The team does also fit well for one who would be a team of Team Plasma, that is. Also, Shoto's post Ketch's team, which is right after Anne's final fight, got really spoiled in this final part of the game.
You know what? Anne is cool and all, but I have a better person from Black and White 2 who has a slightly better theme. Let's go with Getsus. Getsus is the basically boss of the entirety of Team Plasma, even though it's been defunct / turned into Neo Plasma at this point. But Getsus did not give up on his plans. He still wanted to go out and get rid of humans and their connection to, and damn was he close with at the very least you. And this theme really shows his rage, insanity, and power as he takes over Kirim and nearly slays you. Chris, can you go with Getsus's adoptive father?
Well, I don't know if I can quite match, Getsus in terms of his gravitas, but when it comes to brainwashing and screwing with mental chemistry, I think I can match that, because we're going with Gather Your Allies from Baldur's Gate 3. Well, that's a failure of your own expectations. There's no stronger opener for boss music draft than final boss music, and when it comes from a game whose every track wouldn't be out of place in any of the sword and sorcery movies from the 70s and 80s, I'd argue it's a good pick. One of the tracks that graces your ear holes during the climactic final battle against the Absolute, Gather Your Allies, incorporates the desperation of the situation you're in and the triumphant feel of a hero at the end of their epic journey seamlessly in a single composition. The intro sets the bar high as soon as it begins with an adventurer's backdrop that builds on itself for the first minute and some change. The bridge in the middle leans more toward the danger of the fight as you hack and cast your way through the Mind Flayer-infested upper city of Baldur's Gate. And finally, the outro reprises the intro's triumphant sequence, building even further from where the intro left off to an invigorating crescendo that ultimately ends the track. It's a great piece from a great game, and it keeps the adventure going long after you turn it off. And when you're the hero of Baldur's Gate, it's a nice touch when the game gives you music that makes damn sure you feel like it.
I'm going to get the draft list theme back on track, it seems, with my first theme, a song that has made an entire generation terrified, some would say mortified, of pianos.
Ah,
I am, of course, talking about Cynthia's theme from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Her theme is arguably as iconic as Red's theme from the early Pokemon games, for the simple fact of she has reappeared time and time again, game after game, because her theme, her battle, is very iconic, and it does not disappoint. From hearing her battle for the first time as fighting her for the spot of champion, to accidentally walking into her vacation house, to fighting her in the battle tree in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Her theme does not miss. Even when you fight her ancestor, who has a slightly modified version of her theme, it is still an amazing battle theme.
I'm gonna keep the Pokemon train going for one more here. So I'm thinking I'm picking a bit of an underrated track here, because I don't think most people think of this one, but this is one of my personal favorites. And while not a final boss, maybe not even the hardest boss, he fits his theme very well here. I'm going with Colrez's battle theme from Black and White 2. Professor Forehead himself. Which,
A hairline that rivals Vegeta's.
I mean, it really does. But Colrez, kind of like not like a mad scientist, but kind of a mad scientist light. Where, you know, I forget exactly the reason why he's with Plasma. I think they're just funding his research, and he's kind of sadistic. But, you know, after you battle him, then he calms down. But it's not about him, it's about his theme. And his theme fits that science theme so perfectly. The countdown going on, the, like, synthetic music, it fits so good for him. Like, how do you fit the theme of, like, a tech scientist nerd villains who changes his ways afterwards so well? Like, it's just so perfectly done.
no, he doesn't.
What do you mean, no, he doesn't?
He does not change his ways. He just leaves Team Plasma.
Yeah, he changes his ways by location. He goes to a new location to commit war crimes that he did in Unova.
Yeah, he finds somebody else to facilitate his research.
I wanted for war crimes in Unova. As much as I love this theme, there's a lot more I love. And you know what, Chris? It's right. Another Pokemon theme. Just kidding, but I got another good one here. Chris, you're right about final bosses. They typically have some of the best music in the game, if not the best boss track. And in this case, spoiler warning, but I'm going with Zanza's theme from Xenoblade Chronicles.
Ooh.
Now, this one is really good. It has a bit of a lead-up, so it takes a bit to really get going, but even that lead-up, it sets the air of you are fighting a god. And a very arrogant one at that. You have spent your whole journey not really knowing who your enemy was, to eventually find out that it was someone who was manipulating your group the whole time, and you finally get to them. Get the slow lead up where you have to, like, walk up to this angelic looking figure, and it starts, you got the choir going, and then eventually the guitar comes in, and it just starts getting so heavy, and the choir's still going. It fits, like, how hard, like, the tension, the theming, and everything is going at that time. Like, I have not heard such a mix of rock with a choir like this before. It's not to my knowledge or memory. And it's just, oh, it's so good. I love using it in D&D when I get the chance. And I will use it in videos when I get the chance. It's just so good.
Speaking of divine themes, So, what is the best part of a boss music track? That would be how it interacts with the game, right? How it interacts with the player, how the player interacts with the boss theme. What about a boss fight theme that affects the game literally? I am, of course, talking about Hi-Fi Rush, Kale's boss fight. So I need to mention before you play this song, like in the video, this song is by 9 Inch Nails. It is copyrighted.
Well, I can't play this song during the segment.
I'm just letting you know.
Well,
Is there an 8-bit remix somewhere?
There is a copyright-free version of this song that is in the game. This is just the version that I heard, which is why this is the one I chose. Alright, this boss fight theme is so impactful for the simple reason of throughout the entirety of the game, you are basically led to believe that Kale is this absolute godlike being. Everybody who serves under him is terrified of him. He is a corporate overlord in the most sincere of forms. This man loves money, and he loves power. And power does he have. From tampering with the song during the fight, to tampering with your character during the fight, preventing you from being able to play the game, forcing you to play as a separate character during part of the boss battle. His boss fight and the theme that goes with it is absolutely insane.
I said it all.
This song is impactful if you've played Hi-Fi Rush, which is a game I highly recommend to anybody and everybody, because this game was kind of just shadow dropped by Microsoft because they didn't think it was going to do well, and it did really well. It came out like last year, and they were like, hey, this game exists now, please look at our other stuff and not this game. Either way, game is great, highly recommend.
I do live for the music, and while yours has divine in the name and Yetis represent somebody who thinks he was a god, mine is for somebody who almost got there. It's going to be One-Winged Angel from Final Fantasy VII. Regardless of your level of fandom in this series, the fact remains that anyone who's been around the gaming block longer than a few years can hear just the first few seconds of this track and know exactly whose song it is. For one reason or another, FF7 and its music have always stood out in the series due to the game's slight pedestal as it related to technological advents and story narrative. The iconic backtrack to the player's last struggle against the game's final boss, Sephiroth, sounding badass is only half of what One-Winged Angel brings to the table. The song is written in Latin rather than Japanese or English, so much can be lost to players beyond the repeated chanting of Sephiroth's name. But, given their proper translation, we're given words and phrases which include burning inside with violent anger, fate, monstrous and empty, do not let me die, glorious, and noble. Each captures a part of the character himself, his hatred toward humanity for the perceived crimes against his mother, his ultimate goal to destroy the world and be the last living thing in existence, his desperate grasp at immortality following his initial demise, and the fact that, despite the horror of his planned atrocities, he continues to view himself and his goals as glorious and noble. By the time he's found in the North Crater, Sephiroth is a monstrous abomination that needs to be stopped at any cost. Thankfully, the game gives you the perfect soundtrack to do just that.
I cannot drop a One-Winged Angel because I have 3 angels that are double-winged. That's right, I'm going with the Mantis Lords from Hollow Knight.
That looks going crazy right now for this.
I bet he is. It was going to be my first pick with it. So the Mantis Lords are a great fight just in general. You make your way down all the way into the bottom left corner of Hollow Nest just to find that there are 3 lords sitting on 3 thrones that are all just waiting for you to challenge them. And literally, your option when you walk up to them is to press A to challenge. And the fight starts frantically, where you're trying to dodge the first Mantis Lord as he tries to pin you down with his nail or fire his projectile at you. And, you know, it's not too difficult to get past him, granted, if you're good at the game. However, once you get past him, the next one doesn't just get up, the next 2 get up. And they both fight you together. And the theme just adding to your anxiety, trying to dodge all these projectiles and both of these bugs flying around the screen at you, trying to end you to prove that you are not the next true vessel until you finally defeat them. and earn their respect. It is so fun. This was my alarm for a good year or two after I played that fight alone. Because holy shit, I love the Mantis Lords.
Yeah, first let me say sorry, Doc, but you have to hear. You still have, without burping here, you still have to hear about Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Can't get away from this series.
You cannot. So as my second pick, I will choose Valkorion's team, more precisely his Chorus chant, in a sense. Short character summary: Valkorion's the great big evil of the Old Republic, a man who has started as a Sith, but has lived over 1,000 years in different bodies, crafted families, fought 3 different empires, and killed billions. He's known by the names Tenebrae, Vitiate, or Valkorion, who are all different bodies. Valkorion is the version of him that evolved beyond the Sith. He's the main villain of SWTOR up until his death, and most things in the game happen by his design. And since this man has many faces and names, he also has multiple teams. Surprise, surprise. The one I chose is Chorus of him. Yeah, but it is generally just nicknamed Valkorion's team by the community because it wasn't given an actual name by the devs for whatever reason. It's a track that is played during certain conversations and scenes with him, but not during combat. I still count it as boss music because it's specifically plays with him. It's a very slow-paced and dark chant describing him in Latin. It basically describes him as a tyrant and devourer of worlds. These two traits perfectly describe this lovely megalomaniac and his actions. I chose this one over his other tracks due to that reason. The third one, that will be my third, it's something infamous, thanks to the memes few years back, or was it more than a few years ago, I don't remember. We are all this Senator Armstrong's team from Metal Gear Racing Revengeance, and its name, it has to be this way. So the game obviously surged in popularity a few years back thanks to the memes and good music, and I also say good gameplay, although I'm yet to experience the actual gameplay. In short, it is situated in the year 2018 of Metal Gear Racing Rising universe, where you hunt different people of scattered organization known as the Patriots, as a cybernetic ninja named Raiden, who's a former child soldier. Your enemies want to prolong conflicts and war for different purposes each. The final boss in the game is Senator Armstrong, as I'm sure you have figured out by now. He's a politician who you at first think is corrupt, but then realize that he has a dream. Maybe a bit batshit insane dream, as Raiden would put it. You end up fighting him to death, where Armstrong leaves his legacy on your shoulders, and his team is sort of a message. It tells about how similar Raiden and Armstrong in the end are, despite their differences, both fighting endless wars for their own reasons. You can tell the story of both sides from both perspectives. You decide. It is a fitting theme for a final boss, surprisingly poetic as well. Despite it being a huge meme, it is also very much a banger and very energetic as is the whole game itself. If you couldn't tell with this pick that I am a fan of metal and such music.
Well, at the very least, I can help Doc with his rage and have him roar as a knight. Yeah, so we're going with Roaring Knight, aka Black Knight, from Deltarune, a game that I really haven't played, but holy shit did I pick up the controller to do this boss fight. Because, god, the music is so good and sounds like ooh yeah. But, just holy shit, this fight, it's so powerful and overwhelming. It just, in a game series with a bunch of amazing music, thank you, Toby, having this be one of the outliers due to how intense it is, that's just gotta say something. And I mean, it's Toby Fox, what can I say? Where can you go wrong with Toby?
I get that. And this one may be a bit of a long shot, for at least for the people in attendance here. But I personally like it, and I'm going to tell you why. This is Hearts as One from Kingdom Hearts 3. I enjoy a good reprise. Having a song or a track play in a similar way under entirely different circumstances adds a whole new layer to the musical narrative that a work is building toward. I also enjoy medleys, 2 or more tracks blended into a single composition. And when facing down the various members of Organization 13 near the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, Hearts as One delivers a shining example of both. For context, this track blends 2 themes previously used in the series. The first is The Other Promise, played during the full version of KH2 over Sora's boss fight with Roxas. The second is Vector to the Heavens from 358 Days Over 2, played over Roxas's own boss fight with Xion. Both tracks are notoriously somber and perfectly capture the melancholic nature of their respective encounters. And without going too deep into the quagmire that is the lore of this series, Roxas and Xion coming back and reuniting with their friend Axel in KH3 was a huge deal. And when the 3 then joined forces and fought against the former leadership of the organization that had caused them so much trouble and grief, it was hard for one not to get invested. This feeling was amplified by the fact that Hearts as One managed to take 2 tracks that sounded full of despair on their own and turn it into one that somehow offered hope and an immutable drive to win. It's a pleasant instance of music evolving with the characters the tracks represent, and if you're a longtime player of the series, this one undoubtedly sent an unexpectedly welcome chill up your spine.
Alright, so for this theme, I'm going to choose a boss theme that not only defined boss themes as a whole, in my opinion, but a boss theme that is so powerful, so potent, is the Beast of the Boreal Valley from Dark Souls 3.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Megalovania for a second.
Beast of the Boreal Valley is a boss theme that has been used time and time again, even though the actual boss itself is a bit lackluster for how hard this theme goes. It has a very somber, very slow start to the theme, which, is unexpected for a Souls game. And then when it gets to about halfway through, oh boy, does this theme pick up.
Yeah, that halfway mark really is where it hits. Again, but Yeti's right. As the Dark Souls fan here, Vort is kind of a pushover once you like get into it and you understand what he does.
But his theme goes harder than almost every other boss in that game.
Yeah, it was used in many a memes.
I mean, it's tango for a reason.
Oh yeah, I got the meme part. No,
Yeah,
I don't know where that meme's from.
Yeah. And Vort's theme stands above those somehow, even though it's unfortunate that his boss fight wasn't as good as the music was.
back to my turn, and I'm going to go with something that probably none of you have heard. So this is from a little indie game, and kind of inspired by Undertale in terms of at least the looks, although that might be coincidence, I'm not entirely sure. But a rhythm game. This is Wrath of God, a metal obviously inspired theme, metal hard rock. This game is a bit different from other rhythm games. Instead of like trying to hit the notes, you're trying to kind of avoid the notes. You absorb attacks and you fire them back. So basically, you're dodging the music and using the music to attack. So you can only imagine what this fight actually looks like, especially when it really gets going. It gets fast. This one took me a bit to beat, to be honest, because your whole thing is absorb the attacks and fire them back. So you got to absorb, hit them back, and with how fast this song goes, that means the attacks, the notes, whatever you want to call them, are coming at you just as fast. Yeah, you're using the music to fight the music. I'm gonna move along really quickly. There's not too much to say, because it's just a solid theme. Otherwise, I'll be repeating myself. But you know what? We're going back to the RPGs here, and I'm going with another really strong. This is a secret boss theme. Doesn't actually have the name, but Daughter of the Dark God and Octopath Traveler. This is another one I like to use for D&Ds.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, this is a spoiler, but it's also a secret boss, so it's not important to the story. Not that honestly, the Octopath story in the first game is not particularly great. This boss fight is hard. It is demonic looking. For those of you looking at the video, you can see it is pure demon energy. But I love how hard this goes, because it respects what it's doing, and I don't know who actually did this song, but whoever actually made this song, they knew the assignment perfectly. Like, they hit the vibes so well. I love it. It goes hard. It fits thematically. It feels like the final boss. The music itself feels like the final boss.
All right, thank you, Doc. For this theme, I'm going to go with one of my personal favorites. This was probably the first game I ever completed, And anytime I got to this boss, I would always, when I was younger, I would always turn up the TV just to listen to this boss's theme. I am talking about Gaius' theme from Shadow of the Colossus.
Nice. Yeti earning a lot of points with Fexick with this one.
Shadow of the Colossus is personally one of my favorite games, not only for the music, because the music is very well choreographed. It's choreographed to go with the boss. It makes the boss feel bigger than it is, which is insane to do considering how you're fighting Colossi.
This is not my favorite Colossi theme, but honestly, all of them go pretty good.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess and say yours is Phallux's.
I don't remember them by name.
You don't remember? Fair enough.
I just
I don't think mine belongs to a particular Colossus, but mine is Counterattack.
Mine
Nice.
it sounds like Monster Hunter.
I mean, yes, if the entire game was mounting.
pretty much.
So
And,
Rise.
and every boss is a
but
puzzle.
Because
By the
this
way,
is the one that this is the one that plays when the gauntlet on Gaius' arm shatters, right?
Yes.
Love that. You see, tracks like this that play during a moment of player triumph just go so much harder.
When you feel the
Like
mo-
it-
when you feel the mood shift, the tempo
It
of the battle
helps that-
changes.
When you hear this theme, it helps that you fight Gaius on this massive open platform, and your only real method of fighting him is to get him to hit this big gong on the ground to shatter his arm plate, which I love how Shadow of the Colossus does stuff like that, and especially adding this kind of music to it makes it all the more better.
Yep, that means it's me, so... So I'm going to throw a little more onto your rock and metal plate here, Doc, because we're going slightly older school. We're going Open Your Heart from Sonic Adventure.
I was debating on picking something from Crush 40. Boss fight is this?
Yeah, so I feel like I might be... this is the final one from this game. I feel like I might be phoning it in a little since this song really only applies to the first half of its respective fight, but Yeti did the thing with Gaius, and it does still play during a boss fight, so I think that and most of us agreeing that it's a pretty damn good track overall is reason enough to have it here. Also, the main theme of the game itself, Open Your Heart, is one of Crush 40's many headbanger tracks that were incorporated into 3D Sonic games during what many consider the golden age of the series. Adding a rock and roll backdrop to a scenario where Super Sonic is rushing through the flooded ruins of Station Square to fight perfect chaos was exactly what the final scene needed. Crush 40's tracks always have an uncanny way of getting a player pumped for the high-speed gameplay to come, and incorporating their work into the game's final boss was a smart move that would be repeated across several other installments in the franchise in the future. The only bad thing about this song and its place in the game is that it's replaced by a far inferior track for the last phase after you've hit Chaos 3 times. It's regrettable, but at least it takes the bar and sends it sky high for the brief time it plays.
Speaking of Sonic music being on point, I'm
DJ,
gonna bring a little
spin that
with
shit.
Fucking Find Your Flame from Sonic Frontiers. It's
Yeah.
so good. All 4 or 5 of the boss fights just have some great music. And, I learned for you. They have some great music on each one, and basically you could just take your pick of whichever boss has the better one. I picked Find Your Flame because it's the one I can sing along to the most. It hits hard, it goes fast, and Sonic does one of those things until he becomes Super Sonic, in which case, yeah.
Alright, my next choice is not a specific, will not be a specific person, but rather a type of boss in Cyberpunk 2077. And that boss type is a Cyber Psychos. The track is named in similar manner, just a Cyber Psycho. Little lore dump about Cyberpunk. It's a game set in the year 2077 in a universe where Soviet Union won the Cold War and America fell apart. Technology has progressed a lot and cybernetics are essential part of everyday life. It's a dystopia with corporations having the main power. Okay, now about the boss type itself. Cyber Psychos are individuals who suffer from some degree of cyber psychosis in Cyberpunk universe. This is an advanced form of psychosis which happens when incompatible or faulty cybernetics are implanted into a person's nervous system for too long periods of time. They lose all control and reason, and this will obviously vary on person. They may begin to hallucinate and are usually extremely violent. Most often these faulty cybernetics are also combat cybernetics. Most people who suffer from cyberpsychosis are active or former soldiers/mercenaries. There's no known cure for it. In the game, there are a fair bit of these bosses. Most of them have murdered plenty of innocent people, or in some cases security forces set to contain them in the moment they went insane. And it is where you can pick up. These are optional bosses in the end. You will follow clues, find them and take them down either lethally or not. Cyberpunk's combat teams generally have multiple parts. These parts are stealth, control, and assault. This team, which is literally named Cyber Psycho, starts off with a slow and little bit of detective style as you uncover the clues. For its music style, it is a mix of dark, techno, electro, and industrial. It got quite melancholy point. Progresses into more intense speed in the control phase, where you are in the vicinity of Cyber Psycho or he has caught track of you. Finally progresses into the combat phase, which is where the team shines. It becomes extremely irregular in its speed and is meant to sound like something glitching out. This of course represents the mental state of these cyber psychos, violent, aggressive and non-rational. So the track will obviously be this as well. It's a great battle team to truly experience these people as they yell out whatever their bright minds comes up with. Yes, and for my final pick of boss music, I am picking Raphael's theme from Baldur's Gate 3. The song is called Raphael's Final Act.
Yes.
Baldur's Gate is set in D&D universe and the game itself is a mission to heal and unravel the illicit power of the three gods of death, Baal, Myrkul and Bane. You aren't beating the gods itself obviously, but making sure their plans fail and their chosen fall. There are also devils involved of course. This team is one particular devil named Raphael, as you could probably tell from the name. As devils go, he is quite ambitious and schemer. He also likes poetry and theatrics. This is important bit later. He wants to use the three dead gods' blood for his own gains and get a certain powerful magic item to gain power. He acts very much like your typical devil through the game, being charming and offering helping hand and in the end a deal. He is completely voluntary boss to you. You are not forced in any way to fight him, but you gain multiple reasons to invade his premises at the later stages of the game, and it is up to you to decide if you want to fight the devil in his own home. It's likely, I would argue, the hardest part of the game. As for his team, I did say he likes poetry. He also apparently likes opera. He fully sings his own theme with assistance from a female singer. His pitch starts in the team itself, it started 1 minute. It is quite incredible when you begin the fight and actually hear him start singing his own theme. I was pretty flabbergasted when I actually heard it for the first time. His wording plays very much on his past conversations with you and things that you can find out if you read his diaries as books. Opera is very rarely used in games as boss music, especially with the boss himself doing the singing. I myself have a bit of soft spot for this type of music as opera and classical music are very intertwined with metal. This team is the crown on top of an already good villain.
Alright, I'm gonna finish off my list with something out of left field and very unexpected. Because I'm going with a platformer.
No more deals.
I'm going with confronting myself.
Final act.
It is a fantastic theme that shows Madeline trying to connect with her darker self, or the darker projection of herself. Just trying to reach out after basically trying to get rid of her. Which anyone who's gone through a mental health healing journey knows that struggle. But the song is great. Madeline tries to fight you off using lasers and projectiles, but you conquer that, reach her, talk to her, and just accept yourself.
Alright. Well, this one is absolutely not out of left field by any metric. And typically, I am staunchly opposed to rewarding anybody for being a horrible person. But that's the only way you get to listen to this one, because it is Megalovania from Undertale.
God damn it.
It-
You
It's-
sniped me.
I'm not.
It
What do you
said
mean
that-
you did your last round? Shut up.
It is said that in the beginning there was silence, and then Toby Fox said, "Let there be tunes," and the music began to play, and he heard that it was good. Which is helpful, because if you're someone going into Undertale and happen to try your luck with the genocide route, odds are you'll be hearing this particular track for a good little while. The backtrack to your final boss fight against Sans, being a catchy toe tapper that doesn't diminish much over time is perhaps one of Megalovania's best qualities, because let's be real, if you only have an entry-level idea of what you're doing here, you're going to be fighting Sans, and therefore listening to this song for a bit. Funnily enough, the track itself doesn't even kick in until after Sans launches his first brutal attack against the player, so it's almost like the game rewards you with it after you've managed to stay alive long enough to even start the fight, which I personally find a little cheeky and hilarious. The track's intensity and quick pace keep up through its entire runtime, and keeps you on the edge of your seat during what has become one of the most iconic boss fights in the modern gaming age. Regardless of whether you're a newcomer or a seasoned player, Megalovania promises to be a track that lives rent-free in your head long after the battle dies down and the credits roll, and there are no bones about that.
It was very difficult picking the final theme, for me at least. There are a lot of things it could have been. However, I'm going with one of my original favorite boss themes. I am talking about Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, Astalos.
I'm genuinely surprised we have less Monster Hunter on here than I expected.
I was so
had one on-
excited when you said Astalos.
I had one on originally and then just added it to my bench hitters.
Same.
Now, before I get to the explanation, I'm curious. Who did you think I was going to pick, Sam? Great Macau. Gotcha. He doesn't have his own unique theme.
Yes, he does.
He does?
Yes.
It does. We had a whole thing of this years ago when we did, or well, I guess last year. 2 years? Not sure anymore. Yeah, when we did our Monster Hunter list a while back, which we may do another one in the future. I think the option's up there.
Yeah, when you said Generations and Generations Ultimate, I thought you were going to go Valstrax for a second, because that theme goes hard.
I mean, for me, it's
It
a good
does.
it's a good pick because this is my favorite of the Payday 4.
Yeah. For me, I love Astalos' theme because it's about as energetic as he is and just as unhinged.
You mean a child on crack? Because that's basically what
Yeah.
he's doing.
So the music doesn't quit, and neither does Astalos. The entire fight, this music is going hard, and the entire fight you're trying to figure out if Astalos is enraged or if he's been enraged for the past 10 minutes.
Well, since it's my turn for the final round, I gotta pick wisely. There's a few options, but I'm gonna follow up a pick here and go with my personal favorite boss theme from that game. Go with Asgore's theme.
Oh, this was in my backups.
It's really debatable which final boss theme, because it could be this, it could be Megalovania, it could be Hopes and Dreams. It really just is based on preference. I always prefer to Asgore's because A, it's less memed, so I didn't hear it everywhere. But I like the drummy, like, kind of round sound that this one has in compared to Megalovania's more sharp sound. If you understand what I mean, good for you, because I feel like not everyone does. But sounds have a shape, that is what I'm trying to say.
They do.
And
Yes, they do.
I also feel slightly bad because Doc, you just said his theme is less memed. I take it you don't know about the truck one.
well, yeah,
Delta.
but it's Deltarune.
Fair.
And
What I really like about this one is, like, once you get about 30 seconds in, it actually calls back to Heartache, the song that plays when you have to fight Toriel to leave the, like, actually get out into the world.
yeah,
Yep.
the song does a lot. It hits that kind of royal theme that he's got going on a bit. It picks it up with when it does add that. It's just like, I don't know. It does what it's trying to do very well, and I've always preferred this theme to Megalovania or any of the other themes.
And in all honesty, if you really listen to it, you can hear Asgore's love for Toriel still in there.
Anyway, that is our selection. So it's now time to go into the rankings and see how we feel about each other. Who do you hate the most? Let's start off with Barma.
Yes, well, let me start with saying that I liked almost every song in this trap session, so this was very hard to make the choices. Sound design in video games is very important to me personally and can make a decent game, well, great. I'm nearly deaf in my left ear personally, which is why I value sound very highly. But with this self-pitying out of the way, someone had to be the last. Unfortunately, Yeti, that will be you. Well, you started off strong, hate Cynthia. I like the Cynthia's team. I like best blue playing the Pokemon teams I like more, but Cynthia's it's a great one. That I would say that's the strongest pick in your list. And that High Virus, I did listen to it. It's I don't think it's exactly up to my. It's not bad. It is not what I would listen to. Let's just say that. Dark Souls 1, honestly, I'm glad I actually know where that means from. The full track is even better than the memes themselves, so good to know for future. Maybe we'll save that for some playlist. So, I have to say I don't remember the open place. That was Shadow of the Colossus, right? Yeah, okay. That was decent. It was decent. It's something that I would expect from that, something like that. And the last Monster Hunter generation, that was again it was good. It was good, but it's not maybe something that I would listen to more often, but still good regardless. Okay. And as third, that will be unfortunately you, Sam.
Acceptable. It's for my comment, right?
Why do you have to reference it? Now I have to cut that out too.
Anyways.
Imagine. No, yes. Ketch's battle team, I like the black and white one, Ketch's battle team better myself. The second one is also good. But it's the more crazy one, obviously, more high tempo one. He's completely gone nuts.
Yes.
But Mantis Lord, that's also that's so not good. It really just hit me because it just reminded me so much of that Black Diamond by Stratovarius. That is a song that I have listened to probably over 20 years. I started was very young. The whole metal thing, but yes, Black Knight, the Deltarune, that was surprisingly aggressive from game. From that sort of game. I did not expect it to be that aggressive, but I liked it.
I think I got the name wrong, actually. I think it's supposed to be Black Knife.
It is Black Knife. Did spell it wrong.
Okay, because the boss you're fighting is Roaring Knight.
Sense. That was Find Your Flame. That I hope I'm not confusing the two Sonic songs. This was the first one that I spoke about, that Burp chose the bit I spoke about. Was this that one?
No, that was the one that Chris picked.
Okay, then that's over. Well, yes, of course I got them confused. Nevertheless, I like both of them. So Sonic makes surprisingly good music, I would say.
Yeah.
I expect that. And well, that last pick is that's something I have to say that I didn't like myself. That confronting myself. That's not so. It's definitely not something that is not made for me. I would say that. Otherwise, 4 great picks and they carried you at third place.
I'm in the game.
Okay, second place that goes to Yok.
Yeah. You don't like fighting God?
I like fighting gods. But Polaris is not really a god, is he?
I mean, depends on perspective, really.
I guess. Still, I like Goldrash's team. He's, like I said, underrated. I really like the uniqueness of it. There are very few, like there's not too many Pokemon teams that actually have lyrics to them, even if it's just the 1, 2, 3, or the counting down, just the other way around. But anyway. Then there was the Divine. obviously I know about Xenoblade Chronicles series. I never played it. I listened to that bit that sounded like something you would definitely fight the gods with. Sounded good. Then there's a Wrath of God. Honestly, I like that a lot. That sounds something like that would be very fun to play the guitar by yourself, the riff alone.
Oh yeah, definitely. If I could, I would.
Indeed. And Octopath Traveler, that was a... I don't have too much to say about that. It was a good one. I like the chorus part of the chant part. I like those types of songs myself as well. It was a good one. Then, well, I could say that Undertale is the biggest one. I don't have anything... Well, okay, I have something against Undertale. It's probably because of the people who... Like the community, they are a bit too young for my taste. So, but anyway, the song itself is it's decent. I don't call myself for too much for that type of music. Like, is it called 64-bit music? I think.
Okay, I honestly, I would have picked something else, but I couldn't think of anything else. The other themes I just didn't feel were, so that's what I went with.
I don't know, dude. Spider Dance.
Spider Dance is what I prefer. Actually. And I prefer remixes of Spider Dance preferred to the original.
I mean, Death by Glamour is also pretty good.
This just leaves one victory royale receiver for my list, and that would be a Krish. Gather Your Allies, that's a great team. I actually did not remember what the name of the final fight team is. It's also good to know that it's Gather Your Allies. Baldur's Gate really it also has a lot of great songs. That is one of them.
Yeah, it does.
One-Winged Angel, I like that. It's from your description of the boss, it definitely sounds like something that would fit someone, some megalomaniac who wants to go on a genocide against the whole humanity. Really fits him, and Latin lyrics are always plus on my end. Hertas one, I don't have much to say about that. It was a good track. I don't remember. I honestly have to say I don't remember too much about Kingdom Hearts. I played it like long time ago when I was a child. Sure. I don't remember too much about it. Otherwise,
Final Disney.
Then we get to the Sonic pick that reminded me of a past Pokemon run, and I remember the song. It is a good song. That's also why I remembered it. Once again, Sonic makes good songs, and well, then the Undertale, that also was your weakest, but at least you picked the one that everyone knows.
That's fair.
Very infamous song.
Well, I thank you kindly, sir.
Oh man, this was certainly a list. Because I went with my usual point system for my own rankings, and I ended up with a 3-way tie for first place. So I had to figure out something. But unfortunately, having lax by 1 point, I'm sorry, Barma.
Yeah.
Your choices are good. End's battle theme is great. Not as hard as Gets's is, in my opinion. But still amazing in its own right. It Has to Be This Way is an amazing meme. But besides that, it's an amazing song in general. It's just great. It's fun. And Raphael's final act, oh my god. He turned D&D into a musical, and I fucking love him for it. As for the other two, they kind of fade into the background for me. Just in terms of
niche picks.
Yeah. I mean, on their own, they're great, but during a boss fight, I can just see it fading behind. Kind of like Breath of the Wild's music.
Now I can promise you that the Cyber Cycle, that definitely will not fade. It is blasted at you very low volume.
Fair. And then we get to the three-way tie for me, which, again, I had to pick in order. So, unfortunately, despite having great picks, Yeti, you are number 3 for me.
Fair.
I have notes for each of your songs, and Cynthia, all I wrote was no. Vort it's a fun song. It's just great. It's a nice tango in a dark and gloomy world. And then open the way, or the opened way.
There you go. You got it the third time.
I can read, I swear. The opened way was very Monster Hunter. That's the only note I have, and it's the only note that I needed, because that was great.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out, third Colossus, third time was the charm with the pronunciation.
I didn't even know. I never played. And then
It's a good game. Highly recommend.
I've heard
Seconded.
from many people.
Third Colossus.
What was it?
Oh, I was saying I third Colossus it. Because Yeti said he seconds it. I was rounding that joke around again.
As
Well
for
played.
Aspect's theme, I read it positively, but my notes in all caps say, "When does it stop?" My least favorite of the Fated 4, but
How dare you?
it's the Fated 4. How can you go wrong with any of them? It's like, oh, what's my least favorite flavor of ice cream? Like, they're all good. And then we get to the final two, which I had to pick someone, and unfortunately, Chris, you kind of had some things that were similar to Barma.
Fair.
Gather Your Allies, for me, kind of feels like it would fade into the background, as most of the music in Baldur's Gate did for me. With the exception of Raphael's. That was great.
It does so slightly less when you're beating down a red dragon on the top of a giant brain.
Spoilers.
That's halfway through Act 3. But then we have fucking One-Winged Angel. Like, just, how can you go wrong with fucking heavy Latin chanting?
Kind of hard to do.
Hearts is one. Very sweet. Something I would listen to in my own time, honestly. I gotta listen to it again after this. Open Your Heart, fucking classic. I haven't played Sonic Adventure 1, but I do know that boss fight, and so good. And then Megalovania. Again, Toby, Mr. Fox. How can you go wrong with him? And that's basically why Doc got first, because he also got Mr. Fox in there. But in my opinion, the better song. Colress's theme is fucking sick. Like, again, I said it earlier in the draft list. It was between him and Getsus for who took my Pokemon slot. Wrath of God, that was actually surprised me, considering I've never seen much of anything from Everhood. I have heard of it before, but I've never seen anything from it. And music is a good way to get me to play a game, and it's very, very tempting.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty unique rhythm game for that fact.
Daughter of the Dark God. Oh my god, just hit so hard.
So good.
It's so menacing. Loved it. And again, as I said, Asgore's theme.
I did notice you skipped Zanza there. Is there a reason?
It's a little too soft for me. It suffers from one of the consequences called basic background. Anyways,
Weak.
I'm sorry that the song is weak.
Indeed. Then it is time to rank, and there comes a time where one has to get their hands dirty, and while there were no bad picks, Sam, you done gave me silver, and I can't forgive that.
Oh my, you got silver!
No, so that has nothing to do with it, and has everything to do with what you said. No, it doesn't. No, it's...
You remember that
it's
time?
really, yeah. Again, all of these are good. I don't dislike a single one. It literally just boils down to liking the other picks more. Personally, for me, like I really enjoyed Mantis Lord. I'll probably definitely be using that in future D&D games. Find Your Flame, like always nice to have a Sonic track on there. Sonic goes notably hard. I have not played Deltarune yet. Again, I know next to nothing about it, but I do like the way the Black Knife sounded. I'm kind of with Barma in the sense that I enjoy Ghetsis' black and white original theme a little more, and then confronting myself, I haven't played Celeste, but it looks interesting and the soundtrack sounds really cool, so there's that.
Highly recommend it again.
Ghetsis have a theme in the original? I thought he was just like no music in the original.
Oh, he has a theme.
Oh.
Also, for D&D music, use any of the Hollow Knight's boss fights.
You really,
They're all good.
you could really
Yeah,
get away with most of them.
I've got Nightmare Troop and I think Nightmare King that I use.
Use Hornet's theme or fucking just scroll through the boss lists. You will not be disappointed.
Regardless, there comes a time when a bronze must be bestowed. And today that bronze is bestowed upon Barma.
Damn.
Again, the end battle, there are just other tracks from Pokemon that I like more. Not that Ends is a bad one, but again, there are some that just rank higher for me. Valkorion's theme, as you've seen with my own pick, I enjoy the concept of Latin chanting in the background. It has to be this way, just goes hard. I enjoy it. Your weakest one for me was actually Cyberpunk, because that is not a game or a universe with which I'm versed. And Raphael's final act was kind of a redemption story there.
Barma.
Yep. When it comes time to throw around silver, gonna be Doc for this one. Again, just other Pokemon tracks that I like a little more than Colrez. I enjoy being introduced to Zons of the Divine. As you said, I will definitely be using that in future campaigns. Wrath of God and Daughter of the Dark God, both amazing, like Octopath Traveler tracks. I think I haven't had one go wrong with yet, so I enjoyed that. And I may have picked Megalovania, but I do also really like Asgore and grappled with putting that on there, so there is that.
How dare you disrespect Colrez like this?
And then that, of course, leaves Yeti with the gold. You started strong with Cynthia, because that piano refrain, I believe, haunts most people's nightmares who have played that game. I wasn't familiar with Hi-Fi Rush, but I appreciate the song. Actually enjoy Nine Inch Nails in my everyday life, so it was nice to hear that. Vort, just iconic and cool sounding, and then you kept it going strong from The Opened Way, which is from my personal favorite game, so you got bonus points there. And while not my favorite of the Fated Four, I do still really like Astalot's theme.
Yeah. Don't sound too excited, Yeti.
I was gonna say.
Sorry, I was waiting for the mic.
He's still processing that he got first place. That ranking.
Take a bow and the ball, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
That means it's your turn to rank, Yeti. Are you still deciding?
So I've already decided. Alright, so let me explain how I did my ranking. The three things I did was I looked at how it affects the boss fight, like how the song affects the boss fight, if the song makes the boss fight better or worse, and if the boss fight's theme gets old or not. I couldn't think of a good way to word it.
Ages poorly.
Ages poorly. So, unfortunately with that one, that would put Barma at the bottom of my list. Unfortunately, you had a bunch of great ones. Like, I do love It Has to Be This Way. Personally, I prefer Red Sun, but It Has to Be This Way is still a great one. Ends is also pretty good. It's a very impactful moment. I have not played well, I haven't gotten to Raphael Act yet in Baldur's Gate 3, and I have not heard the other theme before, which was the Horn theme. I have not played that game yet. Which unfortunately leaves Cyberpunk. The reason why it was the weakest one for you, in my opinion, unfortunately, is it is a reoccurring boss theme, and you do hear it a lot, especially if you're grinding. So it does just kind of fade out.
I can understand. I can understand that point.
And then it brings me up to my bronze ranking. And for that one, these next two spots were the hardest ones because these two are really close. I had a definitive first. These next two were the hardest part. At third, I am going to have to go with Doc.
The hell? This man's got no taste in music.
Well, we only just established music has a feeling. Science is still out if it has a taste or not.
Oh, it definitely has a taste. Don't worry about it.
And that one, and the only reason for why third and second are so close is, while I do agree that I am certain all of your themes are great, I have only ever played Black and White 2 and Undertale.
You gotta listen to the music. That's not. God, y'all annoy me when you're ranking like this.
I did listen to the music. The music sounds good. I like your explanations for like the impact. Zanza from Xenoblade, great boss. I saw a playthrough of the game. I haven't played through it myself. I have never played Everhood. After this list, I definitely want to play it.
It can be hard. Fair warning.
Yeah. Octopath Traveler is another game I have been wanting to play, and I like the theme for it.
Like Final Fantasy, but with even better music overall.
Yeah. And from listening to what I did listen to of the Daughter of the Dark Gods theme, it reminded me a bit of why am I drawing a blank on his name from Earthbound Final Boss?
Gygus?
Gygus. Like, it reminded me of Gygus in a way, like the feel.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I can see that. I was gonna say, his theme is nowhere near similar, but I can see the feat.
Yeah, visually I can see the resemblance.
Like, all in all, you had great picks. These ones were just really, these two were just really close for me.
Doc will remember.
For the next one, I will be picking Sam.
Fuck you, Snowman.
Aw.
I'm joking.
And I will say, I love Gets's battle theme. Personally, my favorite theme in Black and White 2. That one was your strongest pick for me. The Mantis Lords in Hollow Knight, also a decent theme. Never been a huge fan of double bosses. That did not affect my pick though, because again, it's about the music, not the boss fight itself. Which the theme for the Mantis Lords was pretty good. I like the tempo for it. And obviously Crush 40 is great. I actually do have them in a playlist because all their songs are great, even though I've never actually finished the Sonic game.
I don't think Find Your Flame is Crush 40. I think they stopped working with them a while ago.
Find Your
Is
Flame
it not Crush 40?
No, it is not.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they stopped working with them after, like, Sonic Out of the Hedgehog. Sure, though.
That one's my mistake, because I could have sworn they came back for Frontiers.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
I'm fairly certain they did the main theme for Sonic and the Black Knight, so they were active at least a little after Shadow.
He's the Knight of the Wind, after all.
Anyway.
That wouldn't be my mistake then. Either way, I did like Find Your Flame. It is definitely the kind of music you would expect to hear in a Sonic game. Very high tempo, very high energy. And Celeste, Confronting Myself from Celeste, it is a very impactful song, obviously from the emotion it's trying to convey behind the, the rhythm with the platforming. And that leaves me at number 1 being Chris.
Why, thank you. In thanks, I will tell you the last Sonic game Crush 40 worked on was Sonic Team Racing in 2019.
Oh, okay. So fairly recently, then.
I thought it was sooner than that, anyway.
I did too. The more you know.
Yeah. I say, that's fairly recent. Grand scheme of things.
Yep, they made the main theme for that, apparently.
Interesting.
And for Chris's list, I will say the only one, ironically, the weakest one for me with you was Gather Your Allies for Baldur's Gate 3, because again, with a game like Baldur's Gate, at least for me, the way I play the game, you're not really playing by yourself, so you're not super focused on the music.
Oh, see, you've taken the approach with the game that I want to, but don't presently have the number of friends with open enough schedules to do.
Hello.
Yeah.
When I get my... Wait, is it cross-platform?
Yes.
Well, when I get my hands on it.
Yeah, Deadlock already... Deadlock has it, and AJ has it. I've played a little bit with AJ. I would love to play with you in Deadlock.
I had a playthrough going with Sammy and a couple others. We haven't continued it recently, but I do want to do that. One Wing Angel, obviously one of my favorite themes. Considering how I've played through the first Kingdom Hearts, is ironically Kingdom Hearts 1 is where I first heard One Winged Angel.
Same. I didn't hop on the Final Fantasy bandwagon until later, so I actually didn't know who Sephiroth was until he beat my ass in Kingdom Hearts 1.
I think that's where most people actually learned. I mean, if you didn't learn it from Final Fantasy 7, you learned about it from Kingdom Hearts.
I learned about it from YouTube.
Sure, Sam. Apparently.
Hearts is one, obviously one of my favorite themes of Kingdom Hearts, next to obviously why am I drawing a blank?
When you walk away, you don't hear me say. They can't copyright me if I sing it wrong.
Face Your Fears, that's what it was. I don't know why I had it in my head. Yeah. Face Your Fears is part of my
favorite. Oh, I think we used that one in the OST list. I think Deadlock picked it, and I think he. Yeah, I think
Kingdom Hearts. Like Kingdom Hearts, the music for it is usually really, really good. Granted, Disney does not make it easy when trying to make it a cohesive game.
Well,
yeah, no, but if anything, like Yoko Shimomura's compositions kind of make up for it.
Oof, they are one of those composers that's just oof.
Yeah.
Because as a wise man once said, "Hocus pocus, this plot has no focus."
Angus Munger, you're 6 feet under.
Well, we'll see with the next Kingdom Hearts, which maybe this year or this coming year we'll start hearing something about it. Who knows?
Maybe Kairi will finally do a thing.
Maybe. I don't know. I
really want to find out who the hell Luxord is or was.
And I will say, "Open Your Heart" is from listening to it, it's a pretty good song. Again, I have never played and completed a Sonic game. I need to. If you guys have recommendations, I would love to have some.
We can give you 20. Most of the Sonic library is pretty good, but it also depends on whether you like the 2D or the 3D, because some people don't like one over the other, or like both. It really depends.
I rented Generations when I was younger, and I played a bit of that. I like both.
Okay, so yeah, I personally I like.
We'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Megalovania, I mean, it's Megalovania. It's everywhere. It's great. It goes good with most things.
With most things.
Guess I'm really good at my job, huh?
All right. Well, then I guess that leads me to my turn, and I might be a bit controversial here, going from the bottom, but I'm sorry, Chris, you're going at the bottom for me.
You did that just to keep the gold out of my hands, didn't you?
People will think that. No, I had this set up, but Gather Your Allies, like everyone else said, is kind of your weakest song you got on there. It's very background music-ish, which it's still good.
I disagree.
It's still good background music, but, One Winged Angel, a classic. not a personal favorite by mine, especially for Final Fantasy boss theme. I have others I prefer. Hearts is one is very cute. Not, I mean, unless you are participating in the story, it doesn't hit the same when you're just listening to it. So as a boss theme by itself, it doesn't work for me. Maybe when I play it in the context of it, I will change my opinion later on because I am a big shorts, and my opinion on some of these that we've been doing have been changed. Regardless, Open Your Heart is actually, I don't like this song. It was in Brawl, you could use it for like the stage maker, and I would hear it all the time, and I just did not like that song. Still
Fair
don't.
enough.
And Megalovania, I have heard it so many times, I've heard it so many memes that it's kind of worn on me. It's still a good song overall, but for me, I've just gotten tired of it. Still, that line that I said, you know, birds are shouting, or birds are shouting, sun is singing, and children like you should be burning in hell. Still love that.
Still an iconic line.
It is, even though I said it wrong, but that was on purpose. Anyway, going third for me, Yeti. You started off good with Cynthia, like everyone else did. I think, besides my pick for myself, I think you had the strongest Pokemon song pick. The 9 Inch Nail song was fine. It felt a little out there. Maybe it's just because it was from an actual band. I don't know. It just felt a little off. Fort, straight up good theme. It was memed, but it was in a more respectful way for the meme. So, it does it better. Plus, like, the only other person to pick a Dark Souls theme for me, so...
It was memed in the same way You Shall Not Pass versus Avada Kedavra was memed.
Pretty
one was memed
much.
because it was cool, the other one was memed because it was funny.
Pretty much. The Open Way, all the Shadow of the Colossus themes to me are kind of samey, but they're all still that good kind of samey. Which, that's more of a personal opinion, but they're all good. And same thing with Monster Hunters. Maybe it's just because when I'm fighting the monsters, I'm not focused on the music because I'm dealing with the giant thing trying to swing at me.
I did think that I would get a lower pick on most people's because I did think Aslos' theme would kind of just fade to the background for most people.
Yeah, like, it's good, but I'm not... It is good, but I'm not going out of my way to listen. I mean...
I feel like you have to, because a good soundtrack is necessary when a giant monster is playing Do-Re-Mi on your skull.
It could be playing some, like, copyright-free, you know, royalty-free, public domain music, and I probably wouldn't even notice. That happens sometimes, where I'm just, like, playing and I don't even notice the music until, like, halfway in the fight. Regardless, that leaves two and first, and I've already decided that Sam is getting second here.
God damn it.
I'm sorry. Getsus theme, second best of the Pokemon themes on here. Solid. I love my heavier themes, obviously. Mantis Lord fits the vibe of what it's going for perfectly. Love it. Love it. Black Knife was a bit different, so I appreciated that. I don't know, Toby Fox. You can't go wrong with Toby Fox, no matter what.
Really can't.
Between this and Open Your Heart for Find Your Flame, I actually preferred Find Your Flame. I love the Sonic Frontiers soundtrack that I've heard so far. It's pretty good. And Confronting Myself, I really like. So that one was probably your strongest pick for me.
Yay.
So, obviously, that means that Barma's getting first for me. I'm sorry they disrespected you like this, Barma. You didn't deserve that. End's theme is the weakest for me of the Pokemon themes available here. Not bad by any means, though. Curion's, there you go. You finally got something Star Wars for me to actually like in these lists. It's subtle, but it fits what it's going through. It probably would fall into that background themey music, but I like what it's doing because it's a bit more unique and it's purposely trying to be that background theme music. It has to be this way. I smiled immediately upon hearing it and seeing Metal Gear Rising. or Revengeance. I was just like, yes, I like this. Because I am big on rock and hard rock and that, like, light metal. Some metal's good. And it was just like, yes, this is my number one in all the lists. Cyber Psycho, I disagree with the others on the fact that, like, yeah, it's going to be a generic theme in the game itself, but it's a nice generic theme, and that's going to happen in most games, so it's good to have something that you can kind of listen to while doing things, and yeah, it'll probably fade into the background eventually, but when you focus on it, I'm going to enjoy it. It does have a long lead up, though. I have a small complaint about that. Long lead up.
The long lead up is because, well, the combat phase, when you actually start the fight, it will immediately jump to the combat phase.
Oh, okay.
I should have probably explained how Cyberpunk's themes or songs well.
Fair enough.
They have unique ways.
And then Raphael's theme is just, that was beautiful to listen to. I really like that.
It is a really good one.
Again, when I eventually get my hands on VG3. Eventually. That's my word. Eventually. But that being said, the rankings are in. And we have 2 sets of ties this time. I'm putting a 2 up as if you guys can actually see my hands. I don't know why I do this.
Yeah, and we have all the scores tallied.
Yeah, shut up, Sam. Stop doing this.
I have all of them. I triple checked my math.
It doesn't matter. I'm the one that's doing them. Anyway, in last place with 8 points, Barma. Sorry they did this to you.
Very sad.
It's very sad. Tied for, I guess, 2nd place or 3rd place? I'm not really sure.
In 3rd place, because
Shut up.
and second.
I do what I do. Anyway, it's Sam and Yeti with 9 points.
I blame the snowman.
What? Why am I being blamed?
There are reasons.
And tied for first, well, this is something. It is me and Chris with 12 points.
We need to have a boss fight to settle this. Barma, drop us a respectable beat.
Yeti, I've been $10 on Chris.
What the fuck?
I'm
The disrespect.
I'm sorry, one of you has training.
Yeah, and one of us don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I don't, so I'm gonna.
Both of those things aren't wrong. I may be trained, but I know better than to underestimate an animal in a corner.
Regardless, hey Chris, I guess we'll share this medal today.
For now.
Until the next draft list, which who knows what it'll be then. So we'll have to see you guys later. Let us know whose list was your favorite, what you would have picked, and just drop us some good songs that we could use for our D&D sessions or something. I don't know. Anyway, bye everybody.
Later.
Bye.